So, baby, how do you feel?
How
We launched the episode 1, the pilot
It's huge.
of Conversations from an Ice Bath. Today, 11th of April, 2021.
I actually don't get what happened, but I'm looking forward to the next one.
Oh, that's because you star in the next one.
I know.
Okay.
I'm a little bit competitive. I'm just going to say it. Tim's not competitive, but I am.
But how you felt like? What's your emotion around? You know,
I'm feeling
having
confident.
put this out there.
I'm feeling confident. Yeah, I'm just feeling confident.
Okay. Well, anything to tell viewers about in relation to what's coming up?
I just think we're just getting into it. Like, we need to do the safety first. Please share, subscribe, all that stuff. Never thought I would be saying it, but I am. Never say never. But I think we're going to have fun with this, hey? Like, I can't do anything that at this point in time isn't a little bit of fun. I've taken everything in my life so very seriously, and this is serious.
It's important to have fun, but at the same time, we which I might talk to a little bit. You know, in my segment, there's a pretty strong reason behind what we're doing.
No, absolutely.
And which we'll talk more about. But there's no harm in us trying to have some fun and hopefully have some of you guys have some fun around what we're doing. So.
And on an intimate note, when I got to Australia, you know, the first thing I learnt about was saying the word ice cream, because where I came from, there was only ice cream that was white, and then it had like this chocolate around it if you were lucky enough, and it was from Russia. And I got to Australia and there were just colours everywhere, and it was spectacular for me. So one of the first words that I ever learned to say was ice cream, and there were so many colours here in Australia.
Now help me out a little bit, because Csilla and I sometimes don't always stay on the same tangent, and I feel like you've maybe just gone off on your own one there a little bit. And so I was sort of trying to actually, can you bring it back in for me to well, maybe for the viewer as well, to the ice cream story, which is beautiful, and what we've launched today. I'm just trying to follow your tangent, baby. You know?
I'm just saying that it's all colourful and happy, and it doesn't have to be so goddamn serious. So I've had a lot of serious in my life, and I'm ready to have some fun. A little more confident this time around, yeah.
Well, yeah, you've been, my baby mama and had all that responsibility.
Yeah.
Now you're like what do you call a grandbaby mama?
I'm like this ascended being.
Anyway, we're
Something.
ascended and all that, but grandparents.
It's really hard because you forget a lot of things.
Well, including some of the fatigue and stuff, yeah, but.
Oh, we didn't forget that. We never forgot that.
But hey, you got to stay well. You got to stay happy through whatever period it is. Hey, whether that's through bringing the children up, or whether that's through dealing with whatever the heck it is you want to call the last 12 months. So.
It's all valid.
Are you going to leave me, by the way,
it's
those
grapes?
Valid, you know the grapes, these beautiful red organic grapes from the markets. Just a shout out about looking after your immune system and all that sort of stuff in these days of a lot of chit chat around things related to health. Beautiful organic grapes. What a luxury! What an absolute wealth that we live with. And but hey, all that said and done, they were to share. So if you wouldn't mind just leaving a couple, you're lying.
I bought double, right?
I don't. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I just
You never believed me.
I need some evidence. I need some evidence. Okay.
30 years. 30 years,
okay.
and he still doesn't believe
Yeah,
me.
but you know, I don't want to just be stuck in dogma and stuff. So I'm gonna go search for the evidence myself, and we'll report back on this growing situation, this emerging grape situation, shortly. We'll be right back with you.
So, Timothy Eric Alberts, this is my turn to ask you some questions. How are you feeling about the pilot? Episode 1, you know, called The Pilot. Did that really happen?
Yeah, feeling great. It's there were some grapes left, but I did my research. I did my research, and I came up with evidence.
Oh,
and the evidence was, in fact, that there were indeed more grapes.
See that?
Which I'm really thankful for.
Could
But
be in there.
anyway, so it is, you know, part of what we're talking about through all this is the importance of, you know, some data and some demonstrable evidence around, you know, things that you believe. And so anyway, how do I feel about today's thing? Really good, because we're really clear on our motives.
That's for sure.
You know, we're like Chilla's, you know, alluded to.
I'm actually really shy.
Chilla is pretty shy. That's maybe comes as a shock to some people who would see her.
Yeah, I overcompensate.
You know, honing around the place, but
I like making people.
But I'm also historically. I play a fair bit of music myself, and but in the background, you know, I'm a self-taught hack, and so I'm not really a natural performer, like, you know, some of our family members are. But no, it is. It's true. It's true.
That's
you know,
true.
some people can be very competent at what they do, but just not like performing, and other people are natural performers, and it takes all types. So anyway, we're not the motives around what we're doing. You might want to contemplate just how seriously we think the world situation is when we will go to the relative duress. I don't know how I want to encourage people onto the show. It's a lot of fun talking from an ice bath, but it's a pretty extreme measure to take. And if you actually give it a moment's thought, you might contemplate just how serious we think the situation is. We're prepared to go to these sorts of lengths to try and put our bit out there about it, but to try and have some clarity around things and get questions around things, because the whole idea with Undoctrinate, our YouTube channel that we just launched behind, which is what sort of sits behind Conversations from an Ice Bath, is to really look at re-engineering our thinking a bit. We've been going down certain pathways for a pretty long time, arguably you could say for a couple of thousand years, if not longer. But wow, it seems like been a little bit of an escalation in the last 12 months or so, you might say. Or maybe more accurately, we're really seeing the outcome, the fuller extent of the outcomes of the philosophies and ideologies or convolutions of saying that have gone on for the last X decades, come centuries, come millennia. And so, yeah, I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I think we are in ideological crisis. We're at a minimum at an ideological crossroads, and the choices we make now, I guess always true, but the choices we make now in the context of what we've seen go on around the world in the last 12 months, those choices I really feel like a crossroads as to the type of future that we want to have, we want our children, our grandchildren to have, and hence we're moving from our modus operandus for the last couple of decades, which has been
keep our own yard clean, hey?
Keep your own backyard in order. Well, if you saw our yard in the minute, the neighbours might sort of argue that one, but metaphorically, having your own backyard in order, you know, and so we had to put a huge endeavour and focus into our family, into the ethos of how we lived, trying to be consistent around what we did. We had no goal outside of
no wider goal of, oh, maybe we can change the world. No, we just really wanted to try and live honestly and true to our core values. And we've given that a pretty good crack. And we've seen some beautiful outcomes, and we've had feedback from, you know, friends of our children and our own friends and that sort of thing over the years, that some of what they've experienced in their relationship or interaction with us has been positive. So that's great. That's a good side benefit, and we hope that, you know, if you know, friends of our kids, you know, who and you will all know who you are if you're watching this, that have been in our home and have maybe felt like you've, you know, belonged and been welcomed and maybe then positively influenced to take that sort of approach out into the world, then that's awesome. But it wasn't our goal. Our goal was to do our own thing honestly. And so now here we are, sitting in ice baths, trying to put ideas out and to then welcome other people into that rather extreme environment too, which helps just, it's an honest setting. It's an honest setting. It's cold, it's proper cold, and it implies and includes all sorts of things, including, you know, management of your body under duress, management of your mind under duress, the association between your mind and body, and how you can maybe influence your body's response, etc. So there's a lot of good, you know, good things inherent in the medium. But wow, I'm rambling on though. Really, today is important because we've made a start into the, you know, or a direction, one of the directions that we'll be putting a fair bit of focus to try and do our bit towards, try and make things a little bit better. And that's largely going to be around addressing issues in as an objective way possible, and trying to avoid being defensive of a position. I see that a lot at the moment. Instead of us all working towards trying to establish the truth of the matter, whatever that might be.
Absolutely.
We all, to some degree, and we try and be really conscious of it, but hey, I think all of us to some degree will approach things from our pre-established position, which we have to be open to the fact that that might include some dogma, that might include some indoctrination. And that doesn't even have to be in a big fear-mongering way, just the fact that you've been told that's how it is, and so you've accepted that's how it is. It's now time to question. It's now time to question. We need to have a good look around. We need to think about our own responses and think about whether they're consistent with our responses to other things, e.g. influenza, or tuberculosis, or AIDS, or world hunger, or buying our second car, whatever, right? And so, hey, I hope you're going to enjoy this series, come on this little ride with us, and participate either, you know, as a viewer, or maybe as someone who wants to come in and say your bit from the comfort of an ice bath. Bye for now.
Thanks for watching. And here we are.
Okay, well, that was a fun Sunday, dear.
Like, what the? Are we actually doing this?
And what I told Csilla on the beach,
It's so weird
that
today,
she didn't realise.
hey?
We had come to this idea a little while ago.
It's so much
Not very long
deeper
ago.
than me. Like, I think I'm deep, and then, like, he always gets deeper than me.
We went down the beach, a beautiful afternoon, of course, again, and as we were walking and just talking about the fact that, wow, yep, we've got, you know, episode 1 up there. That's awesome. And then I had a previous date in mind, which was the 7th of April to try and launch by, which was just too rushed. We were, you know, still working out what the heck we're doing.
We
But
just had another
there was some
grandbaby.
significance around
I'm just
that.
saying.
Yeah, another beautiful little grandbaby. And
So, you know, things
so
slow
a few
down.
things going on in our world, and but 7th of April was one date that I thought about, and I'm not really a big date-driven person, as you might come to learn. Like, e.g.,
He's not.
we don't do birthdays, don't do Christmas, don't do anniversaries, so I'm not really date-driven in terms of those cycles. But 7th of April was a really interesting day last year, 2020, and which we might do an episode on sometime, just to explore some of those unexplained phenomena that you
Thanks, Facebook,
sometimes.
for the memories.
But anyway, so then we were like, oh, we just want to get this thing cracking, and so we beavered away and setting up our, the Undoctrinate YouTube channel and playing around with all this stuff. And anyway, so here we are on the 11th of April, and that we've launched the pilot. And I mentioned to my dearest on the beach that
True story.
that happened to be the date of birth of our beautiful, now departed Zen dog, who was a roughly 50 kilo Great Dane Bull Mastiff cross.
He was the most beautiful creature ever. And he's the 5th baby. He was the 5th baby.
But anyway, we might do that as a topic at some point, because there was so much that I'm not a guy who's going to have I love my Alsatian on the back of my car.
No.
I'm not going there.
Not that guy.
Right? I'm just saying this dog was cool as shit, and there was a lot of things, a lot of metaphor we could take out of Zenny's sort of
Life
character
lessons.
and life lessons that he maybe provided us with. But so it was just sort of fun to go, hey, there we go. And my dearest was unaware of it.
Had no idea.
And so there you go. Who's the real romantic here, eh? See you soon.
Him.